Hi, Joseph.
Hello.
Thanks for helping my project.
Absolutely.
Could you say a little bit about yourself?
My name's Joseph Miller. I'm the talent pipeline director here at TXRX Labs, which means I handle K-12 education as well as workforce development.
That's pretty awesome, and the space industry is like growing like gangs of investors, and they need like welders and all sorts of
Fabricators,
Exactly.
technologists, yes, absolutely. So it's a really exciting time, I think, to be in this. In Houston, where we're standing right now, is the East End. This is historical manufacturing area. Before oil and gas, it was very diverse. Now it's kind of being swallowed up by the monster, and the goal here is to kind of re-diversify that, find different skill sets, and also lean more towards kind of high technology in terms of manufacturing.
What got you into it?
I like making things. I like school when hands are on, minds are on, and kids get to bring home trophies every day. And so I want to see education and products that kids can hold in their hands and take with them.
I think that's so critical because like math is like taught so abstractly, and kids are like, why do I need to know this? What's the point?
Right. Even programming, you're seeing that same thing. So we try to do what we call physical coding, so you can actually see a motor moving when you're programming something so that it becomes real, exactly like you're talking about.
And you actually see the reason for it, multiplication could tell you how much you need to buy of the wood if you're going to make this many birdhouses or whatever the project is, right?
Right, yeah. And when you run out of wood, it's not just a math problem again, it's a serious problem you have to solve. That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, did you know that NASA is planning to send astronauts to the moon in 2024 for the first time since 1972?
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Yeah, that's super exciting.
What do you think about it?
Well, it's a little bit challenging. Elon Musk says he wants to die on Mars, which.
But not on impact. So.
Exactly, not on impact. I think we have a lot of problems to solve here, but space creates a really interesting laboratory for new experiments, and we also get to figure out a little bit about our history. Where do we come from, and what does the moon really mean to us? So overall, it's just a new place to play. I love what they're doing with 3D printing. You have to think about 3D printing in a zero gravity situation. All of a sudden brings out new problems and challenges, but also shows the diversity of a solution like 3D printing. You don't have to bring tools anymore. You can print them on board.
Yeah, especially if we get down the whole full cycle. You take the 3D printed parts, you could turn them back into filament, and then you can make them into something completely different.
It's closed loop, exactly right. Resource management is all handled in one spot. Really exciting. Yeah.
It'd be really cool. You mentioned we have problems here on Earth. What are some of the problems that come top of mind?
I mean, the biggest problem for me right now is that we forgot how to make things. We thought that robots were going to take over and handle that for us, and the real problem is that we need people. We're going to continue to need people. The skill set is just changing, and I don't know that our education system right now is able to adapt fast enough. And so at TXRX, we're able to run really small cohorts, keep things project-based, problem-based, and then customize classes and training to exactly what's needed, whether that's for one company, an emerging technology, or an emerging market.
Do you all plan to open up other locations around the state?
Yeah, so I think even within the city, so this is really seen as a model that's kind of hyper-local. We can only scale so far with the space that we have. We have 30,000 square feet, but we can only serve 200 students a year. So what we're looking at is creating a model that can be replicated. For instance, the Maker Hub right now, we have 42 tenants that are housed here next to TXRX Labs. They're going to employ about upwards of 1,000 people a year, and part of them getting their lease here is that they have to make a good faith effort to hire people within 3 miles. So the East End Maker Hub is really a model for sustainable communities. How can people live and work in the same area? How can we keep cultural identities of neighborhoods? How can we also have a force that stands up against gentrification and really hurts that cultural diversity that is so great in Houston?
And that helps with traffic too. If you live 3 miles away from work, you're not spending hours on the freeway.
Yeah, they say that 80% of the people within the East End work outside of the East End. So you're exactly right. People are living here, working elsewhere, while everybody else is coming in here to work. And there's a major problem there.
Yeah, everybody's just
the vicious circle.
Creating,
yeah. Internal headaches.
Any plans to open up a place on the north side?
Yeah, so right now we're working with the City of Houston at the Bethune Academy in Acres Homes. So Bethune
Acres
Academy
Homes.
is an old school with an HISD system. Actually, I think it's within the A-Leaf system. And the goal here, again, is to create a nice, smaller makerspace that can serve kids and even families' neighborhoods in Acres Homes on the north side.
That's really awesome. I live up in like Spring Tomball area, so it's quite a trek to come here.
Yeah, I know.
So,
we need more of this.
I'm over 3 miles.
You got a job though, luckily.
Yeah. Well, but I don't have a place to make things, so I just kind of.
I'm glad you made it in.
Yeah, me too. So if it was safe and affordable, would you go to space?
If it was safe and affordable, I would go to space. Right? Like, we need to understand the world we live in and the challenges that we're having, and maybe even a new perspective on the way we live. And so space provides that in a pretty magical way. Right, if you're going to know what cryptocurrency is, you got to play with cryptocurrency. If you know what space is like, it'd be nice to go.
Now, your great-great-granddaughter is on Mars in a high school class, watching this video, writing a paper on what it was like before we took those next steps on the moon. Anything you want to tell her to help her maybe get an A on that paper?
What problems did we have here, and how can we solve them? Let's not repeat them. This is a new time, a new space. How do we create a kind community that works together and realizes that capitalism, in a sense, means that we create the greatest wealth for the most people, but we don't do that alone. We work together, and so there has to be a combination of smart collecting of communities, as well as people driving their own wealth.
I really appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to add, or any questions you had for me?
Well, if you're sitting there on the Mars space station right now, prepare your kids for the next challenge, right? It always keeps going. So what's the next planet we're going to explore, and how do we get there?
Don't stay in your habitat, right? Get out.
That's right. Figure out how to adapt, because we're growing.
Thank you so much, Joseph.
Cheers.